We love our sponsors like the East San Gabriel Valley Economic Partnership. And now we're going to talk about a little bit about the Morning Buzz. We're going to have Tami DeVine on with us.
We're going to be talking about the right way and the wrong way to protest. I guess how to hold your sign. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's gotten ugly though, right?
It is.
It's so ugly, and it started in Chicago. I mean, right? I think.
I don't know. Is it a surprise that things happen like that in Chicago?
It's really turned into a cesspool.
Is that the gangsta town?
There's so much gangster killings going on there. There's, drug cartels have infiltrated in there. And I don't know what's going on in Chicago, but it is an absolute mess. There were those police shootings and rioting because of that with Rahm Emanuel.
Oh yeah, well
they're trying to get him out, and he's like, I ain't going
we
nowhere.
talked about that on another segment. They need to get rid of him.
So Trump goes to I think it's I can't remember which one. Is it Northern Illinois University or Northwestern? I can't remember which one. But he goes to a college campus to just to have one of his massive rallies. All his rallies are like tens of thousands of people.
Just curious, right?
There.
And it's
neat
they
want to know
anyone wants to be part
is.
of the process. I think when people want to be part of the political process and learn and be,
it's a
see
good
things,
thing.
it's a really great thing. Then they can decide either way how they wanted to vote.
Right. So I'm with you. I think that probably a lot of people do go into those rallies trying to figure out, well, am I going to go for this guy or not? But there are some die-hard haters in the crowd now, I mean, before it was like one or two, right? But with this with this Chicago thing, there was a bunch of protesters, and it's just gotten really ugly. So now the media is really turning it back around on Trump, saying he's the one. It's his followers that are violent, because I think one of the people in the crowd punched one of the protesters, and then Donald kind of egged it all on a little bit.
Well, he said that he would try to cover his legal expenses
and things like that. So that was dumb.
But do you think that your opinion that there are professional disruptors that are being paid to go out to these rallies and disrupt things?
We know there's precedent for that.
Yes.
For that, right?
From Los Angeles,
because from Los Angeles, from the Obamacare rallies, there were people that were paid to go there. The Black Lives Matter, as much as people don't necessarily want to look at that fact, they have been paid. I mean, there's stories out there that show that they were angry because they weren't getting their money quick enough during some protests and things like that. So there are professionally paid protesters out there.
And the stand down too, wasn't the stand? Was that the stand down a few years back? Sit-ins, where people weren't moving, they were taking over areas, they were protesting because they didn't have jobs.
They were paid.
They do. I mean, it happens. We know this.
Do you think that the establishment or the Democrats are behind all this?
Personally, I do believe that somehow, I mean, they're always going to try and remove themselves from a situation like that as far as possible. So maybe it's some outside group that's affiliated with the campaign somehow. They'll never, ever admit it, of course. And I don't know how you really prove that, I suppose, if you do a lot of digging, you can find out.
That's kind of like shutting a bridge down. We'll let the other people in the background take care of that. And I don't know anything about it,
Right.
But
but I honestly would not put it past some candidates to allow for this to happen. And honestly, I think, and hopefully this isn't too far into the weeds, into Conspiracyville, but imagine imagine Hillary Clinton having people go into the crowd pretending that they were Bernie people. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, very interesting.
There's no proof that any of that is happening, but I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that.
I personally think that Rubio was behind the whole Trump bash. That's my opinion.
When Rubio took front and center and started going after him, his little hands, and by the way, it was Rubio that started the whole thing about the manhood, okay?
Marco,
and so,
no longer there.
And then he got the wrath of Trump on his head, and guess he's not in the race
I always
anymore.
think when somebody's on the defensive, it's an instant lose.
Oh yeah.
And Trump just isn't. He is on task, and
He's in
doing
your
what he
face.
wants to do.
It's
And whether
funny,
he's right or he's wrong, but he's never defending himself.
He never is. And it's funny, it's like they do
And
psychological profiles of this
Right.
sometimes, and they'll show him like at the debates, and psychologically he will not look at whoever is bashing him. He will, you know, he's always
He's a pro.
looking.
He's a
the
pro.
executive. He totally knows
Exactly.
this stuff inside and out.
Tammy, appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you, you
talking
guys.
about
I
our
love-
Trump bashing.
I
and
love talking to you
right
guys.
way to protest. Appreciate that. So coming up, we got so many different schools out here in the LA area,
Right.
and we're going to start promoting and looking into some of these.
Right. So we have a fascinating school, the International School of Los Angeles, will be up with us next.